everybody to the Starving Artist Development Podcast. I hope everybody is doing well. Man, it's been a minute, but we are back and we are in full effect. And today, of course, we are talking to creative entrepreneurs about the highs, the lows, artist development, and how you can use your creativity to carry you forward. So, of course, I am your host, Gabrielle Carruthers. Now, today we have a guest. We have a very wonderful guest. First off, this young lady, she's well versed. Let's just say that. She is the CEO of Jayoko Entertainment. She is the co-chair educator of We Are Sona. She is a member of the Recording Academy. She works in artist development. She is a project manager. She is doing the damn thing. Let me just say that. Doing the damn thing. And when I say you're doing the damn thing, I have been lightweight stalking you on threads, right? And I'm like, man, like she's so smart, like, but and not just smart, but she is well versed in her creative field of study. And you have some people that talk the talk, but you talk the talk and you walk the walk. And I have been sitting here and I have been taking notes, and I'm like, okay. Jay is that girl. She's that girl. So I would like to welcome Jai Yoko of Jai Yoko Entertainment. How are you?
Well, I'm well. Thank you so much for the amazing words and all the affection. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So I do artist development, but I do it for like, dance education and stuff in theater as well. And I'm still learning about the music industry, even though, if you're from Detroit, you grew up around music. I mean, we got Motown, we
Yeah.
have what Big Sean, Eminem, everybody that you can think of that started out in music was either influenced by the Motown sound or just Detroit in general. And it's really dope to meet other people that are not from the city and to just, kick it and talk to them and to get their insight on just the music industry in general. And I know for you, again, you being an expert in your field, I definitely wanted to sit down and just talk to you because I know I have questions, and I know that a lot of the viewers, especially a lot of the people that I've interviewed for this podcast specifically that works in music, their complaint is always just being able to just make a living off of their music, right? So we all know who you are, but I want to allow you to dive further into detail and tell the audience everything that you do and why you are that girl.
For sure, for sure. So peace and blessings, everybody. My name is Jai Yoko. I'm the founder of Jai Yoko Entertainment. Predominantly, with my company, what I'm doing is either teaching creatives, doing it on creatives' half, so some type of hybrid, if you would, right? So this whole kind of creation of this company, I always laugh because I tell people it was fate. Everybody's always like, "Well, how'd you get into this industry?" Listen. Just a lot of dice were rolled and a lot of crazy things happened. But I got to this point of creating Jayoko Entertainment from seeing a gap to me of education. So
Mm.
many dope creators making amazing art, amazing videos, amazing music. No money though. Why is this not happening? Because nobody is teaching them the actual business behind the music. So I took it upon myself because at the time I didn't know anybody who was teaching this kind of thing either. So I just became a student to the game and became a geek in it and absorbed everything that I could and got to a point where as much as I learned, if anybody would listen, I would tell them about it. And I just kind of like regurgitated it, if you would. And that's what kind of started this domino effect of me becoming, let's say, a resource in my community of where I was at the beginning with just providing information to anybody who would listen to it. I'm screaming it from the mountaintops. Fast forward to where I'm at today, I've been able to build a career off of, let's just say, translating the harder information about the music business and taking so much of the legal jargon and the legalese out of it and putting it into our language for either our culture, our community, or just how our brains work as creators, if you would. So being able to do those things have blessed me to be in some different rooms that I honestly never thought that I would be in, if you would. And it's putting me kind of in a new path now, where I'm also kind of leaning and focusing on more of like advocacy and actual policy behind the
Mm,
music, if you would, because again, there are a lot of people who do not look like us. The laws around music and how music and everything was created were not created with us, whether we're black or
mm,
brown, women, independent creators. We were not the ones that were in mind, if you would. So I call myself being the person who I wish that I had when I was a young creator coming up, and also being a person who is representing the ones whose voices normally never get in these rooms.
mm. Yeah, that's the one right there. Listen, I'm glad that you brought that up. I sit I belong to an organization, and there's not a lot of us that sit in this organization. And the more and more I got involved, the more I felt like I need to see more of us in
Hmm.
these rooms,
Hmm.
because it's one thing to tell our story and to advocate for ourselves and what we need, especially in the creative industry, whether it's music, it's performing arts, visual arts, multimedia arts. But it is hard to constantly push the narrative of advocacy for the needs of African Americans, especially in these fields, whether it's venture capital, whether it's mentorship and proper mentorship, because sometimes we have mentors that don't mentor, right?
Correct.
Um, access to resources that will take them to the next step. And again, the more and more I began to sit in these rooms and to offer my opinion, there was a part of me where I had to kind of take a step back a little bit and just be a listener, simply because we don't have the amount of access to venture capital as other organizations would, especially people that look like us.
Absolutely.
And that concerned me because although their mission, I appreciate what they're trying to do for the city, right? But there is still a part of me that is hoping that although I am sitting and I am advocating and I am offering my expertise in these organizations, you all are getting the funding
Hmm.
and you all have access to the funding
Hmm.
and the resources.
Hmm.
And we still don't,
Hmm. Every time, man. Every
every
time.
every time.
Every time.
So I know for you, like you said, it is important to, one, come into these rooms. And I must say, when you walk into these rooms, even down to your profile picture, you are like, listen, I'm about my business. I am not playing. When I walk into these rooms, I need you all to take me seriously. And just know that yes, I may be young, but I have the knowledge that it takes in order to, be the change in the industry that wasn't available to me. So let's talk about the it factor. So when you first meet a new artist, right? And there's an artist that's kind of like breaking into the industry. Obviously, they want their music to pop off, but what are the three non-negotiables that you look for in an artist that will help them not only survive in the industry, but produce longevity in their career?
Oh, that's a good one. I would say versatility, number one.
Mm,
Um, I would say maybe malleability almost, or being able to be molded, if you would,
mm,
right? I think the last thing would be drive. Like, how bad do you want it? And not on a challenge type situation, not on a, if you don't make content every day, then you're lazy, like nothing like that. But on some, when you're trying to reach a level of success in anything that you do, you have to put forth the effort in order for the universe to kind of match and make sure that everything is delivered. So when I say drive, it's like are you gonna do your part, if you would? When I say being able to be moldable, one thing that you got to learn in this industry, just overall entertainment is you always have to be ready to be a student of the game because everything changes every single day. When I tell you student of the game, like I have a study guide every week now, you know what I mean, for my own self to just keep up with what's going on to stay on top of things. So when it comes to creatives, I think having an open mind and being able to be molded and being open, especially when so many people are like, I need help. But there's so many creatives who need help and they're hard headed as hell. You feel me? Like you tell them the sky's blue and they'll give you 47 reasons of why the sky is green. And it's like, but you ask for help. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like take it's crazy, man. I've literally I've fired myself from maybe two clients in the last 30 days because they just
Hmm.
I don't deal with it, right? And then the first one with just being versatile, right? Again, when you start learning more in this industry, you learn how to switch things up. And I don't mean to change yourself. I don't mean to switch your persona. I just mean like to just be versatile in more than one thing. Like, cool, you were known for doing freestyles, but now I need you to learn how to sit down and structurally write a song. I need you to learn how to collaborate. I need you to learn media training. So now you're not just the freestyle kid. You are now starting to be developed as an artist overall. But if you can't have that versatility where you can go from being a freestyle kid to, okay, listen, I know you don't write all the time, but just try it this time, right? So I think all of those things to me create a creative who can absorb from around them. And to me, that takes it back to, like you were saying, the Motown days, right? Like that's why that artist development was so fire. One, they were offering it, but two, they were putting these younger creatives in rooms with veterans. And it wasn't no, I don't want to hear about him and that wasn't happening, right? You're gonna sit down with this young lady and she's gonna teach you how to write a song and you're gonna take notes and you're gonna learn how to write a song, and that's what you're gonna do if
That's
you
it.
want to get on this stage type thing. And it made them open to collaboration. Now they learning from different people, they switching things up, but now you are creating a star and you're not even realizing it. We don't have that right now, and it's because to me, the egos block those three things.
Yes. 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 No, I agree. It's funny that you said that you had to fire yourself the past 30 days. I had to do the same thing and not so much fire myself, but I had to literally just send the money back and say, you're not ready. I'm ready, but I can only go so far as to where you allow me to take you. But also, I can provide you with the blueprint, but I cannot build the entire house for you. At some point, you have to lay the foundation yourself.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
have to do the work. I'm giving you the blueprints. Here's the map, the roadmap that you need.
Follow the play. That's all you got to do is
That's
follow the play.
all you got to do.
That's too much like right for some people, man. Everybody's goals are not the same. Just everybody's not ready for what it is. So yeah, before I argue, I'll relinquish myself, right? Or I'll
Yep.
just be on the real like. So now that we're wrapping up this month, we're gonna take a pause on next month, and I'm
Yep.
gonna let you reevaluate what your priorities might be because we're not aligned right now. So holler at me in 30 days and we'll talk about it. Or maybe we won't. And it's no bad feelings, but
Okay.
I've gotten to a point where there are too many. For every five creators who won't listen, it's 10 more that's begging to be given that opportunity for somebody to just help them. So it's like, let's not waste anybody's time or energy if that's not what you're ready for. I'd rather work with creatives who are receptive to the help so that, we feel like something is being productive. It's funny, like me and one of my business partners who we call ourselves like rapidly developing artists sometimes. And we always tell them it's like, yo, I don't want to just sit here and just take your money for a free month. You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't feel like we're like getting some type of progress, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So where we could just sit here and be like, yo, it's on you. We gave you the play, but you're not running it, and we just gonna send an invoice for next month. We just be like, no, like we wasting our time, we wasting our energy, we giving you all the plays of what you can be doing. So let's take some time, use what you want to use your budget for. We're gonna do something else until you're ready. Cause there's no reason for us to just I'm not milking you for your paper, bro. I want you to actually win. If you're not gonna apply the play that we doing, let's not play.
Yep. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna send you on your way. I'm gonna send you on your way. And like you said, it is no love lost.
None,
We're
none,
good.
none.
But I can't want it more than you want it. I don't, and see that type of drive drives me nuts, because there are some people where you like, I see it in you, but
Yeah,
you don't see it in yourself. And I know that is the imposter syndrome. And I know I've suffered from imposter syndrome, but man, it is hard when you're like, I know you have the talent. I've seen you perform on stage. I have everything that you need and more. And I am doing it, like you said, like literally at a robust pace. What are you waiting for? Right? But it's a matter of, it's mindset. It is the mindset. It is, there's a difference in just being an artist and then developing your mind, right? Because either you're going to sink or swim, either you're going to shrink or you're going to expand. And unfortunately, when you do operate in the mindset of scarcity, there are times where sometimes you might be afraid of just succeeding. Like, what if it goes so well and I'm not prepared for the success that is to follow? So now I'm going to self sabotage. I'm just gonna get in my own way and I'm just gonna mess stuff up.
every time, man.
Every time.
Every time. Fear of success, I feel like holds so many people back from what they really could be accomplishing.
I agree. I agree. Now listen, like I said, for you, I know that you take your work seriously, right? Because I've watched you over these past couple of weeks, or honestly, what, the last month or so, and I've just watched how you dialogue with other people on threads on Instagram. I've watched a couple of your videos where you've offered some artist development advice, and I know the hardest thing for a lot of artists too is to come up with the content just to market themselves, right? Like they might push out a rollout and just keep pushing out like the same two or three rollouts over and over again. So now there's a struggle between authenticity and then being marketable. So let's dive into that. How do you help an artist find the middle ground between staying true to their creative vision and making something that is commercially viable?
I mean, to me, anything can be commercially viable. There's an audience for everything right now, right? I think there's a matter of being able to not only keep attention spans, but to me, especially with music, it's like, what's the story behind it, right? So, for me, to help a lot of my clients when we're doing rollouts, is not only creating the story and the narrative, but also doing a deep dive on like, when we push this content out, who are we talking to, right? We create first of all, like, I'm such a geek. We start off with a self reflection, right? Because not only am I trying to figure out like who is this project for and what happened in the studio and all this type of stuff, but I'm also trying to ask some questions that probably nobody even asked these artists before. Like, yo, who are you? You feel me?
Mhm.
Like, what are you making music for? What do you stand for? What are your non-negotiables? What are your mantras? Like, if you want to talk about your spiritual stuff, what is it like? What music did you grow up on? Did your parents influence you? Like, I want to get the behind the scenes of who you are as a creative, because to me that needs to be incorporated in the rollout as well. Not necessarily telling everybody like I used to play church in the organ, you know what I'm saying? But giving some background on who you are of a creative, and then with the project itself, creating some type of narrative behind it. You feel me? Like these projects, at least to me, successful ones used to have a story. You feel me? It's like listening to a movie for real, for real. So lately, and I'm laughing because I'm working with one of kind of my little street guys right now, and I'm pulling this stuff out of him, but I'm having a ball with it, seeing him adapt with it, right, and just being like, listen. I know you cool, bro. You feel me? Like I know you fly. I know you got the stacks. I gotta go way deeper than that. You feel me? Like talk to me about what it was like when you were homeless. You feel me? Talk to me what it was about growing up with your mom who passed away. You feel me? Like, so we really got deep on this project, and where he was a little bit uncomfortable because he's not used to these questions, right? And I'm making him answer stuff like, yo, what's your top five movies for real, for real? Like, if you had to be in a car with a young lady and you can't play no rap music, what five songs are you playing? Like, how you gonna woo her type thing? So when he's doing these questions and we doing this content shoots and stuff, you can see his personality come out. Like I haven't seen this kid smile. We've been working together for 4 years. You see what I'm saying? So like doing different things and challenging him to think deeper. It's like, okay, so part of our rollout is we about to fire a single for a song that we put out 2 years ago, but we about to make all new content with it. So I'm like, yo, how we gonna make this look like fresh for real, right? So like we hired a saxophone player, just something different. You feel me? So I'm like, yo, look at how that look aesthetically. You feel me? Like just something different. But guess what? You never told the story of this song. What's the story of this song? What made you?
Hmm.
These are all the things that we started shooting content wise, right? But this is all really him. Where we really just got him to talk about him. So then I challenged him on certain things. Where like my dog like to cook. He always be cooking for real, for real. So we did intentional content where he's now talking about what it was like recording this project. He cooking a couple of his little favorite dishes for real, for real. You feel me? So now he's showing that other side of like, okay, he normally posts plates, but y'all ain't know he was the one that was cooking these plates for real, right? Like, ooh, we talk about fashion, but now we doing some get ready with me, and he be all icy and X, Y, and Z, but now he telling people like, I was a hobo at one point, you guys, but it's funny how he said it, you know what I'm saying? So to hear some dude, what he say? It's gonna be funny when it come out. He was like, yo, I was a homosexual before. You know what I'm saying? Like I was homeless and I had to do what I gotta do. So just hearing that is like, hey, bro, like, but it's showing a different side. He being authentic. That's really him. We showing the funny side. It's showing the difference of where he at now in the growth, and people are starting to learn him. And it's like, yo, all we did was have a conversation. You
That's
see how
it.
we turned content from, bro, we ain't gotta do TikTok dances. We ain't gotta do all that. We just gotta show your personality and
Yeah.
narrative behind what's this project that we pushing and keep everybody involved. So now as I'm explaining it to him, he like, man, it's easy now, dog. I'm like, I'm telling you, bro, we 3 shoots in and we got 20, 30 pieces of content, 3 music videos already done for and visualized all from 3 shoots, but everything is outside of the box from what he used to. But it all started with, yo, we gotta introduce the people to who you are. Not the braggadocious one, not the look what I'm wearing, that no. You for real. Let's get deeper. Then let's tell people what the music is really about and how you rapping about this and why you rapping about this. And now his brain is completely flipped now. You feel? So I mean, I think it all started with just making people dig deeper than just surface level for real, for real.
Let me go ahead and drink my water on that one. Let me just take a sip of my water. Because people in general, and one thing, well, Erica Badu said it. Keep in mind that I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my creatives really are sensitive, and I think when they have to dig deep like that, you're peeling a layer of vulnerability, a layer of resilience, but also the layer of authenticity, probably the authentic side that they may have struggled with growing up, right? And people called them weird or different or made fun of them. So then they created this character within their artistry, something that they could escape to, not realizing that your people are actually out there and they want to know and they want to see you for you. And I know with a lot of artists, a lot of creatives, a lot of hell, everybody, sometimes we create this version of ourselves in order to appease people or to get the people's attention, even with music, right? Um, but what we have to understand is that, like you said, it's when you truly peel the layers, your people will find you.
Absolutely.
When you tell us your why, like when you really dig deep down and you do the artist development work, which is really just, it's your mindset. Sometimes it's not about, the Rolex or the Cartiers or the fur coats. And I've said this a lot, especially here in my city, in Detroit. I'm like, there are so many of us that's so dope, but we're so afraid to just be ourselves because we're hiding behind our Cartier frames and our Diedrich fur coats. But I bet you if you peel those layers off, you will find your people.
Every time, man. Every time. Listen, people just want to be able to relate and be like, yo, I went through that. I feel him. Once you get them moments, you good. Real also recognize real. Like, yo, we know when you stunting, we know when it's rented. You know what I'm saying? So like, just be real about what it is so people can relate more versus putting out these like outlandish like, hey dog, I can't compete. I don't know nothing about no Lamborghini. Like I could never drove one, probably won't, you know what I'm saying? But if you say like I'm pushing a Honda, okay, I got a Volkswagen. You know what I'm saying? We can rap a little bit. Like that's what people don't realize when it comes to like connecting with their fan bases. Like, yo, just be real and be authentic and watch how people can connect more versus trying to be braggadocious. You look like you talking down on your people. So like, look at what happened with Lotto when she first came out with that little what is it, brokey joint. Everybody was like, "You calling me a brokey?" Like she had to do a whole campaign to flip it back because people felt like you talking down on them. So it's like, talk with your people, uplift your people, make them feel, like they heard and they seen, and then people gonna rock with you forever.
Yep, yep. And honestly, people, they'll begin to feel that in everything that you do, right? Whether, like you said, whether it's music, whether it's performing, whether it's multimedia arts, it's visual arts, it's whatever it is, like whatever concentration you do or whatever your craft is, whatever you decide to focus on, it's when you become your authentic self, when you operate in authenticity, that's when people will really start to rock with you. Because like you said, you can tell if it's rented, you can tell if it's owned.
Every time.
We know if it's a lease or if it's a mortgage. We know.
Every time, yo. And
We
people like
know.
to look
We
stuff
know.
up too, so you know they got the receipts.
So let's talk about support. So obviously, with any creative entrepreneur, it's one thing to, be authentic. Is it's another thing to also develop your mindset. But community is important, right? And who are some people that an artist should keep around them at all times? And I'm not talking about the people that come on stage at the BET Awards or the Source Awards. I mean, like, who are the key people that every artist should keep in their circle in order to be successful in their artistry, especially in the music industry?
Um, what I would say not to keep around you from the beginning is just yes men, right? Like, just don't ever keep people around that's on some do boy, like saying if they depending on you and saying yes to everything. That's not people you need around you, like straight up, right? People you do need around you though. I think every person needs a therapist, right? Like, I will be real honest. Just surviving in this world, period, is rough. But the creative world, the level of burnout, the level of imposter syndrome, like it plays a lot on your brain and on your psyche for real, right? So a therapist, number one. Um, some type of OG to me, right? And they could be in the industry. It'd probably be a little bit better, but even if they not, but I think having just an older brain with maybe a frontal lobe that's more developed than yours is always good. But somebody that can keep you grounded and not like, again, not a yes man. Somebody who's not afraid to check you and get you back, kind of like, let me keep it funky with you type thing, right? On more of the like positions of the music industry, I think an entertainment attorney. Like, listen, you always need somebody to make sure that what's in black and white is actually what's best for you, right? And I was just saying this earlier, where I won't say the name. I saw the owner of a major label say that he enjoyed or he was kind of for AI, if you would. And this, I have nothing against or whatever. And he was saying a lot of his artists who he signed who can't afford lawyers run their agreements through Chat GPT, right? And in my head, I'm like, cool, kinda. But as a label owner, why would you not want to even teach them, you know what I'm saying, like how to so like that they signing deals not reading it. It was weird for me, right? So it was like, yo, we always need to have entertainment attorneys on decks. I think people need consultants as well, right? Because not every person is necessarily ready for a manager. You gotta realize a manager is a position like you need to be paying them. period. And a lot of people don't realize that. That's 15 to 20% of everything you bringing in. If you're not bringing nothing in, how you gonna pay for this person, right? But a consultant can help create the plays for you. So what I used to tell people is like, I can tell you some information in an hour that took me 10 years to figure out. You feel me? So
Mm.
it's like, we not necessarily shortcut everything for you, but we're giving you the playbook so you don't have to go through the hell that we went through and had to figure things out. Aside from those four, I think depending on where you're at in your career slash what you can allocate budget wise, but on the indie side, I think if you can get somebody to help with content, whether that's shooting, editing, helping you come up with ideas like a creative director, that is really big, especially being that we're in like the content game heavy right now. And then the last person I would probably say is some type of admin person, somebody who understands the paperwork aspect. You feel me? That is one of the major roles that I play on most various teams, to just being that person that regardless of what's going on, what time of the year, if they having a release, they know they can text me and they know for a fact they don't have to worry about the paperwork, the splits, the registrations, the copyrights. Like, I'm gonna handle all of that for them. And at the end of the day, this is a business. It takes money to make money. So if you're not worrying about how to get a return on things that you're investing money in, number one, that's a problem. You feel me?
Yeah.
But number
Yeah.
two, we already know that, as much as we talk about how low streaming is, there's so many different ways that you can get paid from your music if you have everything properly set up. So if you're not going to take the time to do those things yourself, make sure you have somebody on the team that's going to make sure that that's not a ball that's dropped, because we need all our money to come back home. So do the paperwork, do the registrations. Those are the people I think that are needed kind of from the beginning. Of course, as you grow, there's gonna be more people that you need to add to the team. Eventually, a publicist or a PR type of situation, or maybe a booking agent, a touring agent, a merch agent. So it all depends on the levels that you kind of grow with and whatever your goals might be. But from the start, a therapist, some type of OG to keep your head level, a consultant, an admin person, and an entertainment attorney.
Listen, if this wasn't a hybrid artist development workshop in like 5 minutes, because you did drop some jewels. You dropped jewels. And again, it's taken a lot of artists, a lot of producers, musicians, a long time to figure out other ways and avenues that they can generate income while also protecting their IP, right? And I don't know too much about IP protection, but I do know that I've been played several times. And because I was young and naive and I was hungry, I made a lot of mistakes. And a lot of those mistakes cost me in the near future. I've also taken some L's. I withdrew from a business partnership, and I'm still friends with my co-founders and stuff, but and I knew this was going to be a success, but knowing what you probably didn't know back then, versus, hey, I could tell you in an hour what took me 10 years to figure out. Now that I'm knocking on 40, you just explained something that I think a lot of artists may or may not know, or they may not understand why these people are important to building their success. It's one thing to be independent, but it's another thing to still have a team of people to push your artistry. And you don't have to necessarily be signed to a record label in order to be a successful independent artist, because sometimes it's not just talent. Now, for you, because you are well versed in this topic, syncing rights or sync licensing, the process. I know a lot of people, they kind of know, but they don't know. And I know I've talked to several artists that have had questions about, okay, I know I have my music. I know I need to register my music as the writer versus like the producer or the composer or something. Because streaming is low, can you break down the process of, without giving like everything, but can you rapidly break down the syncing licensing process to help other artists generate income?
For sure. So sync license is what I like to tell people, a culture, right? So it has its own language, it has its own rules, it has its own nuance, and that's the first thing you need to do in order to get in it is understand what you're getting yourself into. Sync is a medium that moves extremely fast, and the reason being is like when you think about the level of production of what's being done, the sync, um, the sync license agent, or I can't think of the technical term right now. It's a little off, but the person who's in charge of the music for a commercial, a TV show, whatever, they are the last person most of the time to touch the project, right? So if it's a movie, they didn't shot the movie for 3 years. That last person to touch it is the music person, and they normally only got they got the smallest deadline. You feel me? So they've been filming it for 3 years, but the music person got to get 180 minutes of music to match up for this, but they only got 3 months, if that, right? So your time is short, and that's why sync moves fast, right? So the number one thing about sync is being prepared. And what I mean by being prepared is, again, sync license and move fast. So you need to have all your pieces. What I like to tell people is, so I used to cook. I used to be in culinary, and there was a term called mise en place. So having your things in place, if you would, right? So sync licensing, you need to have not only your music fully registered. So what I mean by that is split sheets, copyright, registered with your PRO, registered with Sound Exchange, MLC, like sewn up from A to Z. You feel me? If you are working with other people and other collaborators, y'all need to have y'all behind the scenes agreement of if money comes, this is what's going to happen. We all on the same page, because when you come to sync licensing, everybody involved has to agree. If not, y'all take too long to get everything together. Boom, moving on to the next person. So registrations and having the paperwork is number one important. Number two is having all of your materials. The mix, the master needs to be done. You need to have your stems. You need to have every version clean, dirty, acapella, whatever you can think about. Because again, they call you, they say, yo, we love this track, but we need to take the trumpet out for some reason because X, Y, and Z. That moment you say, yo, let me call my engineer, out. You feel me? So having everything together. The next thing to me is you need to be where sync licensing exists, right?
Mm.
So you need to have your music organized. There's a website called Disco that almost every sync agent is going to, or sync license agency, sync manage, like everybody's going to Disco. And in Disco, you are uploading all of these things they're asking for. So all of your stems can be in one spot. All of your proof that you did all your copy work, copyrights and your paperwork in one spot. Metadata, one spot. Everything that they need is in one spot. But most important, in Disco, you can do what they call like categorizing your songs. Remember, this music supervisor don't have a lot of time. So if they coming in and they say, yo, I need a song for a crying scene, some people have taken the time to label their music and say melancholy, perfect for a crying scene, breakup music, just got X, Y, and Z. Those specific details gonna help that music supervisor figure out exactly what they need. So taking time to label all of those things are gonna help you, right? So your paperwork is done. You and all your collaborators got all y'all got X, Y, and Z together. You got all your ducks in a row as far as you got your stems and all your versions. You got everything on Disco. That way you can be found by that music supervisor. Now you need to figure out, okay, well, music supervisor not always gonna come knock on my door. I feel like I make music that will be good for Bel Air, right? So how I'm gonna find those people? So doing your research and your due diligence is just as important, right? What I always tell people, spend 20, $30, get an IMBD Pro account and go look up different shows that you feel like your music fits for. Go look up who's that music supervisor of that episode, of that season, X, Y, and Z. See what other shows that they work on. Pitch yourself to either those companies or those music supervisors and show that you've done your research. Quick ass email. Hey, what's up? My name is Jai Yoko. Pleasure to meet you. I love the supervision that you did on episode 32 of Bel Air X, Y, and Z. When you put this track on, I feel as though I have music that might fit for you. Here's my disco link. If you need anything, let me know. Done. Right? Quick, fast, in it. But it all makes you gotta have all your shit together first in order for it to work. You gotta have done that due diligence, because if you hit homeboy and say, "Yo, I got a song that fit for you," and he say, "You send me a rap song and all I work with is rock and roll," boom, you're blackballed. We're not paying attention to you, right? Or you come with them and you say, "Yo, I want you to put my song in and ain't no copyright on it. They not putting that music in there because now this music supervisor, let's say they do put it in there, and come to find out you didn't do no copyright and you got a YouTube beat, right? So now the production company then got sued for
Mm.
infringement because the YouTube man said, "Yo, that's my beat," and they came to you and say, "I thought you." I mean, I kind of had it clear. You done got banned from the production company. Music supervisor and got fired. You're now blackballed. All from, you see what I'm saying? It's a domino effect. You don't want to be that person. So at the end of the day, sync licensing is understanding the culture, knowing the rules, following them, and having your piece together as far as being prepared so that you can get these opportunities. I think from there, it's also like just being open to what you're creating, right? So learning how to create for different scenarios, different things that are happening, writing for different people, different cultures, different events that are happening in the world, just not your everyday whatever you feel like writing is what you're gonna write. You gotta learn how to be from different worldly perspectives. And if you can accomplish that and you get in a situation where like you get a couple syncs and you start getting in with the right people, it's a rinse and repeat. Almost everybody I know in the sync world, all they do is bounce stuff off each other. You feel me? Because they all know how they can work and that they can do everything on time. They know how to do the splits. They know how to do the paperwork, and they just run to each other back and forth. And every 2 weeks, they just posting, "Here's my new commercial. Here's my new this. Here's my new X, Y, and Z." And that's their lifestyle now.
So basically, we just need to go ahead and hire you. Just hire you.
We'll get you right, man. Listen,
Yeah,
I'll give you the jewels. I'll give you the plays on how to win at every one. You know what you do with it is on you.
because right now I'm looking like Mr. Krabs in that one picture where he just like, because
it,
I mean,
it sounds harder than what it is for real, for real. You feel me? Like
yeah,
once you break it down step by step, and it's like, okay, I make music for what kind of show? And then sometimes, again, a lot of it is the research and sitting down and watching some of these shows and comparing and contrasting. Like my favorite one is about to show my real geeky side, but like, yo, Bridgerton. I
yeah,
love
I
Bridgerton
love
music
Bridgerton.
to the point
Mhm.
that like I buy the vinyls for real, but I wait for the seasons because I'm trying to figure out, okay, whose songs they about to flip, how they
Mm.
who actually wrote this. And then now I'm looking at the credits and being like, okay, that's the dude that did that season. That's the dude who flipped the scissor one from that. You know what I'm saying? But now I start putting my homies on where I'm like, yo, like redo this song, but do it in the orchestra and do it in cinematic music. You feel me? Like do it for a commercial where they do what is it called? Trailerization. So my cousin is big in sync and he taught me these things where he'll take I think one time he took like a Kendrick Lamar song and chopped it up so it sounded like it was the beginning of a movie. And then when he's at conferences and stuff, he play it to all these people who are in the sync world and they hire him. Cool, come do this song for me. Come do this X, Y, and Z. Or he'll find the artists themselves and be like, yo, listen to this. I trailerized your song. But you just got to think outside of the box and think like TV and movies and make music that way. And it can change your world, man.
Trailerize your song. And you know what? It's so funny that you said that too, because when you think about like Good Kid, Mad City, and you think about how cinematic, I listened to it as a record. I will always listen to it when I was in college or whatever, or like right before I went to college. But then I said I want to listen to the actual record, and just him having that understanding and saying, okay, let me think bigger. Let me take a Kendrick Lamar song and then, like you said, let me trailerize it. So that way you can play it at the beginning of a cinematic opening.
Bro, it's listen, it's so many things you can think of. Like again, he's my cousin, so I be picking his brain. I'm like, yo, so like you made music for a theme park. I never thought about that. So like I think it's either Disney World or Disneyland, one of them. But just think of everything that's he makes music for that type of things. And I'm like, we're not thinking about that. We're not thinking about that. But it's like outside of the box. Video games. Almost the number one like money maker in music right now, low key, is video game like Fortnite. Look at all this stuff. You feel like, but folks are not thinking. Everybody wants to make a song about this is how I feel. No, can you write a song about a 13-year-old girl getting broken up with?
Okay.
That's going to work for Gossip Girl. You feel me? Like, can you write a song about being in love in the 1600s where you're not supposed to love her? Cool, that works for Bridgerton. Good job. You feel me? Like this is where their pen is at when they in this sync world, right? Write a song for a cell phone, because it's for T-Mobile. Think, think. So that's what I be trying to tell people. Like, think outside the box, y'all. You don't have to be the artist. Yo, I know a guy, and I know we on time. Let me. This is the last one, right? There's a guy who's in my city right now. Shout out to my man Daraj. When I first met Daraj said, "Yo, Jay, I make music for sync licensing because I don't like the marketing part. And I don't want to necessarily always be the face all the time. So I just make music for sync licensing. And sometimes I'm still recording music in my closet because, like, I don't want to go to the studio today. But Jay, I be clearing like 6 figures every year." I said, Daraj, you okay? That was your song that was in that Ford commercial, and you just posted about being in Jurassic Park, and you landed something in the Super Bowl, and this is all because you think about music differently. You
That's
just
it.
those things differently. So that's why I be trying to tell people, like, yo, music is in every sector of the world if you think outside the box.
Mm.
Culinary, military, beauty, sports, entertainment, medical, cars,
Yeah.
transportation. Music is in everything. You gotta think outside the box of wanting to always be the artist, wanting to always be the focal. Who can you write for? Who can create, like, bridge out? You feel me? What's your favorite fashion company? Do they have a jingle?
Yeah.
You think outside of the box, you make more money in this industry, but you got to understand how money is made in order to think outside the box.
Message. I mean, at this point, we just got a master class. So I hate that I even have to check out.
Yo, we'll do a part two one day. That's all.
No, but as we should though, because the thing is that the whole goal, the premise of the Starving Artist Development Podcast, the podcast is always the phase one. It's always been the phase one. The phase two is the activation, right? Because we need to see if there are people out there that really need our help. They're out there, but they also have to want this kind of information, because this kind of information, as much as we want to give to everybody, it comes at a cost.
For sure.
And it's not cheap.
No.
It's not cheap. So we have to prove why these things are important, to one, have people invest in what it is that we're doing and what we're talking about, and to continue to have these activations, and not just here in Detroit, but to have pop-ups in different parts of the world, because it doesn't just have to stay in Detroit, right? It can go to your hometown, right? Like, we could come and we can be the host of the event, right? Under Sad Media Agency, but essentially we need more of this, because we have it, but we don't have it, not to the length of like where you and I are even breaking bread. We have some people that say, "Oh, I'm in artist development and woo woo," but it's like, but are you really in artist development? And can you sit here and can you give a master class in 5 to 10 minutes? And can you tell me something that took me 10 or 15 years in 10 minutes? Right? So, with that being said, if you can impart any wisdom on any up and coming artist, what would you tell them?
I promise you, I say this, and every time when I'm asked this question, trust your struggle. All right. Now, I don't mean be on the struggle bus for life. What I mean is, where you're at right now in life, you're there for a reason. You might not be where you want to be, but I promise you're not where you were at yesterday. You're not where you was at a year ago, and you're not those other people. So don't compare yourself to them. Trust where you at. Trust your journey. Trust what your destiny is supposed to be. Trust what the universe has in store for you. But also just trusting yourself. You feel me? Like, you were given these gifts for a reason, and you have the passion and the courage to present those gifts to everybody out in the world. Don't worry about how many streams you got, how many followers, none of that. Your impact is so much deeper than what any quantifiable numbers could ever say, for real, for real. So just trust your struggle of where you are at right now. Understand your struggle is not going to be a struggle right now, but respect it, right? It's getting you ready for the blessings that coming. And in order to keep blessings coming, you have to be prepared for them. You feel me? So the struggle of where you at right now is not forever, but trust it, yo. Like, trust that it's not going to be there forever. Trust that it's going to make you a better creative, but also trust that like your gifts are seen, you are heard, you are understood. But you got to trust that in yourself first before anybody else can see
Miss Jai Yoko. First off, thank you. Thank you so much for connecting.
it.
Thank you for taking the time out to drop so much wisdom, so much knowledge, not just jewels, but diamonds, precious diamonds, something that a lot of people may not have access to. You just provided this access to people that look like me and you. And this is so important. But most importantly, you just open up an entirely new world like Aladdin to helping people that look like us understand why it is important to differentiate yourself as an artist in ways that you can step outside of the box to generate income while also remaining authentic, being marketable, and building your team in order to be successful.
Absolutely.
I'm
Absolutely.
through. Where can we find?
Listen, I'm everywhere from MySpace to LinkedIn to the gram. Listen, Jayoko ENT is where I'm at on all social media. JayokoENT.com is a website. Listen, follow me, find us. I promise you, I'll find you back. We'll follow you back. We'll give you the love, man. As much wisdom as we can give to anybody who needs it. We're here. If we can do one thing, we just want to be that person that proves, yo, if you want to do it, you can do it. It's people out here who are willing to help you. I know this is a crazy industry, but everybody not wild, man. It's a lot of us out here who really want to see you guys succeed, who give you the blueprint, who I'll give you the shirt off my back for real if you say that you cold type thing. But we here, man. We're here to help our community. We're here to change the trajectory of what this industry has done to our community and our culture. And I appreciate you for sharing space, and we got a lot of stuff we gonna build. I'm excited, man. And it's not the first or the last time for real, for real. So thank you so much for sharing space and sharing energy and also just being open and connect. I love what you're doing in your community, and like I said before, I'm definitely down to support. We're gonna build some stuff out. I'm coming to Detroit so we can really get boots on the ground with
Yeah.
it and help these artists. And listen, thank you for building a podcast to help these creatives and encourage them and just keep them going and being a voice in our community to just allow people to be themselves, but you're also honing the next generation, and we need more people like you, man.
Thank you. Thank you, Jay. You're gonna have me up in here shedding a thug tear, but I keeps it G. Well, you guys already know where to find us. We are on when I say every streaming platform. Every. We are also on YouTube. So you can look us up at Starving Artist Development Pod. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Starving Artist Development Podcast. We are also on Facebook. I need to fix the Facebook page, but whatever, it is what it is, right? And yeah, and if you want to just connect, please send us an email at info@starvingartistdevelopment.com. And of course, you can go to our website www.starvingartistdevelopment.com. First and foremost, we would like to thank everybody. I see that you all are listening. I see that you are watching the YouTube shorts. I see that you all are watching the episodes. It is greatly appreciated. And we are international. We are international. And we are still showing up as number one on Google, Starving Artist Development. And that's all I can say is to just keep listening, keep watching, keep putting the word out. And this literally is just the beginning. And I am so grateful to be connecting with all of you. And of course, Jay, thank you so much for taking the time out. It has truly been a pleasure. And I'm going to follow up with you after this episode. But yes. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Likewise,
And thank you
likewise.
all too. Thank you all for tuning in. And I will be talking to you all soon. Bye.
Peace.